Transport is a necessary and often enjoyable part of our lives, but the way we are currently getting around is making too many of us sick. Is the trade-off between cheap travel and a healthy environment inevitable in a developed country, or can we make our transport healthy as well as efficient?
Petrol and diesel engines emit carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen and fine particles. These pollutants cause breathing problems and increase the risk of heart disease, affecting drivers as well as pedestrians.
In the UK, outdoor air pollution is contributing to around 40,000 premature deaths per year. In Wales alone, the figure is about 2,000. Old people and young children are especially vulnerable. Air pollution stunts the growth of children's lungs, affects their ability to learn, and is a contributing factor to climate change. In fact, UK air pollution has been breaking legal emissions levels since 2010, when these levels were introduced.
On February the 21st, 2018, Client Earth won a third victory in the High Court over the UK government's plans to tackle air pollution. The judges ruled the plans unlawful because improvements wouldn't take place by the quickest route possible and by a means that makes the outcome likely. The government's response to this health crisis has been to delegate to local authorities. This might have worked if they had not also cut council budgets so severely in the name of austerity. We live in the world's sixth richest country, so can we have a transport system that doesn't ruin our health or cost the earth? Outside the UK, cities have used town planning, public transport and new technology to improve air quality.
Like the UK, Germany is facing high fines for not reaching EU targets. But at least in Germany, cheap public transport is helping get German commuters out of their cars. A single journey in Berlin will cost €2.90. A similar journey on the London Underground will cost €5.50. Also recently, several German ministers made the headlines by floating the idea of introducing cost-free public transport across 5 German cities. Copenhagen is a city designed for cyclists, with 390 kilometres of cycle pathway and an amazing 62% of residents cycling to work every day. The vast majority continue to do so even when the weather is wet and cold. Meanwhile, in the UK, several pioneering cities have bought hybrid buses to reduce air pollution.
Transport for London boasts that 30% of its fleet are diesel-electric hybrids, and TfL have been experimenting with wireless charging to boost batteries at either end of the route.
Similarly, Bristol uses induction charging. The 48A bus takes just up to 7 minutes to top up its battery at the university end of the route. The bus's engine is no bigger than 2 car engines, yet the bus can take up to 80 passengers.
When the bus drives into a pollution hotspot, its GPS system switches automatically to electric.
Last year, York became the first city in the UK outside of London to trial a fully electric double-decker bus. This bus can take 99 passengers and has a range of 150 miles on an overnight charge. Several other cities have bought hybrid buses or are using fully electric. Inverness currently has 6 in use. Since diesel emissions cost the NHS around 10 times the cost of petrol, electric taxis can make a significant contribution.
In London, taxis contribute to about 1/6 of nitrogen oxides and 1/4 of tiny particles.
So new taxis will only be licensed if they can achieve 0 emissions and do up to 48 kilometres on electric alone.
The 20 is Plenty campaign also reduces emissions, although its main effects are a 40% reduction in road casualties.
In Bristol, it is estimated to reduce injuries by 160 and save 5 lives annually. In residential streets, with an average speed of 24 miles per hour, a 20 mile per hour limit smooths the journey and reduces the emissions caused by braking and accelerating.
Having safe, separate cycle routes is also important. The experience of Copenhagen shows that if you build it, they will come. Cycling can make us fitter, cutting costs for the health service. It can be a quick and cheap way to get around, and a more enjoyable way to start your day than queuing in traffic. This one in Cardiff is very popular, but more are needed. Many roads in Cardiff could benefit from following best practice elsewhere. Replacing diesel buses with electric buses would be a start. strategic pricing on public transport could tempt more of us out of our cars. A speed limit of 20 on residential streets would reduce injuries as well as emissions. Work hours could be staggered so fewer people need to travel in peak times.
Transport is a vital part of our lives. We need to get around, but we must balance that necessity against our need to breathe clean air rather than toxic fumes. Transport managers, town planners, and above all, government ministers who fund councils and make laws should always bear in mind that people want shorter journeys, not shorter lives.